I am Rahul Zaveri, and I'm trying to better understand how air pollution affects the climate change. So I grew up in Bombay, India, which is a very polluted city, as you might know. So as a kid, and I suffered a lot breathing all this air pollution. So I'm very passionate about trying to contribute towards the solution of this air pollution problem, especially since we now know that pollution not only affects human health, but it also has huge implications for climate change. We know global warming is caused by all these greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, ozone, water vapor. Now, carbon dioxide is being produced from pollution. But at the same time, we are also emitting small particles as part of this pollution. These particles scatter the sunlight, so they form a haze layer in the atmosphere. And this haze layer scatters the sunlight back into the space. So less sunlight reaches the surface of the earth, and so you have less warming because of that. So it is offsetting the warming caused by carbon dioxide partially, not completely, but we don't know exactly how much it is offsetting. And the particles also form clouds, which are much more efficient in blocking the sunlight, as we all know. So there is a direct effect by scattering the sunlight directly from these particles. And then indirect effect is these particles forming clouds, and the clouds then blocking the sunlight. So the climate models are these models which try to simulate the climate of the planet Earth. And we need these models basically to understand what happened in the past, what's happening in the present, and really to use these tools, these modeling tools, to project what could happen in the future as we continue to urbanize the planet. We have more and more pollution emitted into the air, and how these small particles and other pollutant gases affect the climate change. And the only tools we have are these climate models. So Mosaic is the computer model that I developed at the lab here over a period of about 10 years or so. And it stands for Model for Simulating Aerosol Interactions and Chemistry. I know it's a mouthful, but it's basically a model that simulates how these particles interact with each other, how they grow, how they transform their climate affecting properties with aging, with evolution. So there are many unsolved mysteries still out there. One, for example, we still don't understand how these very small particles that are formed from sulfuric acid, once they are formed, they grow very rapidly. But we don't know what is growing them. So that is a mystery that we are working on. And the other mystery that I mentioned earlier was how these urban pollution particles and other gases that go with it interact with naturally occurring compounds like alpha-pinene from trees, how they interact and form more particles. So this is what we are trying to understand over the next few years. And we want to put that understanding into Mosaic and see what the pollution is doing at a larger scale.